Well, hello everybody, this is Scott Manning coming to you live. It is now time for a very special college football wrap-up. I want to thank all of you guys for taking the time and watching with me here on this afternoon. The first weekend of the college football season is over, and like I expected, everybody in the top 25 did well. As a matter of fact, the entire top 25 went 24-1 this weekend. As we expected, Clemson, Duke, everybody had no problems. Ohio State had no problems with Florida Atlantic. Oklahoma had no problem with Houston, and like we expected. And nobody didn't expect to see Penn State put 79 on the board against Idaho, but that did happen. But I have some other games outside of the top 25 that I'm going to talk about on this day. But now the games I'm going to be talking about today are Cincinnati UCLA from last Thursday night, Purdue Nevada from Friday night, and of course we have Northern Iowa and Iowa State on Saturday. And of course, the big Saturday night main event from last Saturday night, Oregon and Auburn. I'm going to be doing a special up and down segment where I'm going to give you a chance to. I'll give you my take on the up and down segment. I'll explain to you when it gets to it. I will also hand out some game balls, and I'm going to give you my game of the day picks. Then I'm going to have some closing thoughts on the Ohio State transfer Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts of Oklahoma. So stay tuned. We're going to be here for a little. I'm going to be here for a little bit. But let's have some fun and let's get started. Let's start this out with a Thursday night battle between Cincinnati and UCLA. Well, let's see. UCLA is going to have another bad season, in my opinion. Cincinnati beat them 24-14. Desmond Ridder, Cincinnati, 18-26, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Michael Warren II carried the ball had 26 carries for 92 yards and a touchdown on the ground, and he also had 3 catches for 27 yards and a touchdown through the air. UCLA, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He's got to be one of the most pathetic quarterbacks in UCLA history. 8-26, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was the guy responsible for the 4 turnovers for UCLA on Thursday night. UCLA only had 12 first downs. They only had 218 yards of total offense for the game. They were horrible. And he only had 62 yards rushing as a team. Very pathetic. And what else can you say? Like I said before, UCLA has a pathetic quarterback. And I'm being very nice. And I'm trying to be as nice as possible. Last year, UCLA went 3-9. Are they on that way to a season? I'll get to that one on my up and down segment. But Cincinnati's defense was pretty good. 6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. They didn't have to do much of anything when UCLA quarterbacks turned the ball over 4 times by himself. And that's what it all boiled down to in that game. Cincinnati beats UCLA 24-14. Ohio State there were a lot of Buckeye fans that were watching this game. And I'm going to address that on Thursday night when we get ready for the pregame show. But anyway, Cincinnati gets a huge win over UCLA 24-14. The next game that sticks out, Purdue out of the Big Ten versus Nevada out of the Mountain West. The Nevada Wolfpack knocked off Purdue 34-31. Nevada came back down 10 to win that ball game. For Nevada, Carson Strong, 29-50, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tua, 12 rushes, 86 yards, and he had a touchdown himself in the game. Elijah Cooks, 6 catches, 43 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dominic Christian, 2 receptions, 41 yards, and a touchdown. But the ultimate hero in that game was Brendan Talton. A 56-yard field goal at the end of the game to give the win to Nevada. And the most heartwarming moment of that game was in the locker room. The coach gave Talton the game ball, and he got a scholarship. He said, I want to come kick for you, and I want to play football for you. He proved himself with a big win over Purdue. But for Purdue, Elisha Snidler, 34-52, 423 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Rondell Moore, 11 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown himself. What went wrong in this game? Well, there's a couple things that went wrong. Purdue only had 96 rushing yards total for the game. They had more yards passing than Nevada did all night. However, Purdue, 5 turnovers in the ball game. And Nevada wasn't, and I mean, Nevada was down 24-7 at halftime, and everybody was thinking, this game's over. It ain't over till it's over, like Yogi always used to say. But I will say this though. This is where all the money was earned. Nevada only had 404 yards total offense for the game. Purdue had 519. But the 5 turnovers is what killed Purdue right there in that ball game. That's the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. That's the bottom line right there. You turn the ball over 5 times, you're going to lose. It doesn't matter if you're a kids team, a high school team, a college team, or in the NFL. You turn the ball over 5 times, you're going down. And that's all there is to it. Nevada gets a huge win over Purdue, 34-31. And I'll tell you right now, Nevada showed me a lot coming back against Purdue. Now, I know Purdue's always usually towards the bottom of the Big Ten. But when you get a group of 6 knocking off a Power 5, that's something to write home about. Okay, let's move on to the next game. Northern Iowa versus number 21 Iowa State. This was a 3 overtime battle. Iowa State took that game over Northern Iowa 29-26. For Iowa State, Brock Purdy, 30 of 41, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sheldon Carney Jr., 13 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown. Deshaunte Jones, 14 catches, 126 yards. LaMichael Pedway, 3 catches, 26 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the Iowa State defense is what really stepped up. Iowa State had 10 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and that's how the game was won. But before I go any further, for Northern Iowa, Will Malvane, 25-42, 225 yards and a touchdown. Trevor Allen, two receptions, 26 yards and a touchdown himself. You know, there was a couple things that stuck out for me in this game. Northern Iowa only had 34 yards rushing for the game. They couldn't run the ball all night, and Iowa State took care of that problem. Iowa State passed for 278 yards. And I mean, in total yards, Iowa State dominated that 463 to 262. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. That's how Iowa State came back and won. Because Northern Iowa could not run the ball all night long. And despite the fact that Iowa State committed the only turnover in the game, they won it. And I'll tell you right now, is Iowa State going to make some noise in the Big 12? That remains to be seen. But after what I saw in this game, it is something else to think about. Could we be talking about Iowa State being the next dog in the Big 12? I don't think so. Just to be honest with you. But Brock Purdy went 30 of 41 for 278 and 2 touchdowns. He got the job done. And that's all there is to it. All right. The last game I want to talk about is the big main event from Saturday night. Number 11 Oregon versus number 16 Auburn. Auburn was down 21-6 late in the third, and they came back and won. The Oregon defense played that old Cleveland Browns prevent defense like the Browns used to do when they had Bernie Kosar. But anyway, Auburn beat Oregon 27-21. Bo Nix, 13 of 31, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He also carried the ball 7 times for 42 yards in that game. Travis Whitlow, 24 carries, 110 yards. Seth Williams, 4 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown. Eli Stowe, 3 receptions, 18 yards, and a touchdown. 1 catch for 36 yards in that game. Now for Oregon. Justin Herbert had a great game. 28 of 37, 242, and a touchdown. C.J. Burdell carried the ball 14 times for 76 yards and a touchdown. Spencer Wells had 3 catches, 28 yards, and the other touchdown in the game. Now, what went wrong? Let's see. Oregon was only held to 90 yards rushing for the game. That's how they won. Auburn, in that game, ran for over 206 yards. 110 of those yards by Travis Whitlow. And I've always talked about in college, when I talk about football and I talk about the 3rd down, 4th down numbers, I call it the big money down. Because that's where that's where the defensive coordinators and the coaching staff earn their pay. Here's a case in point. For Auburn in that game, they were 7 for 17 on third down, and they converted 1 fourth down. Oregon was only 4 of 14 on third down, and they went 1 of 2 on fourth down. Now, Auburn had 22 first downs in that game to Oregon's 17. Oregon had the ball for over 32 minutes, just a little bit more longer than Auburn. And Auburn was on the ropes, but they came back with 21 unanswered points late in the game. And that is how Auburn won the football game. A touchdown with 9 seconds left, they get the job done. And they beat number 11 Oregon. And I'm going to be honest with you folks, the top 25 is already going to be changed up because of this Oregon loss. So that is the game. Now that is the game segment of my little get together, my little college football show. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. All 5 of these games were something to write home about. Now, it is now time. You know what? It is now time for our up and down segment. This is how the up and down segment works. I'm going to ask a question, and it's very simple. You either vote up or you vote down. It's that simple. I'll ask the question. I'll even give you my take on it, and I'll see what you guys think. For the Cincinnati UCLA game, here's a very simple question. UCLA is going to have another 3-9 season. Do you vote that one up or do you vote that one down? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is very, very simple. I'm going to vote that one up. After what I saw last Thursday night, UCLA has a pathetic quarterback. Causes 4 turnovers in the game, and he only goes 8 of 26 for 156 yards. He gets picked off twice, and he lost 2 fumbles. For crying out loud, you tell me. UCLA is on their way to a 3-9 season, even a 2-10 season, after what I saw last Thursday night. And that's very simple. That's a simple one, just to kind of give you an idea. But you know what? I'm going to do something with Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati has a big game against Ohio State. You know what? I'm going to hold on. I'm going to wait till later on. All right. Nevada. Let's talk about this one. The Nevada Wolfpack are going to be the team to beat in the Mountain West Conference, and they're going to be the best team in the group of 6. Do you vote that one up, or do you vote that one down? I'm going to vote that one up. If Nevada can beat a Power 5 school, grant you Purdue's not that good in football. I grant you. However, I will be fair about this. Nevada, they could be the school. They could be the team that causes more mayhem. And that's all there is to it. I mean, Carson Strong, 290 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and a QBR rating of 126.5 in that game. Where can you go wrong? And Nevada was down 10 at home, and they beat Purdue. Granted, it took a Brandon Talton 56-yard field goal to do it. And it's a group, and they're going to be the team to beat. When it comes to the group of 6 conferences, they're going to be the team to beat, and they're going to be the team to watch this season. And that's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all there is to it. All right. The next question. Now this one involves Oregon, the Oregon Ducks. Oregon is going to win the Pac-12 despite losing to Auburn. Do you vote that one up or do you vote that one down? I'm going to vote that one down, and here's why. Oregon had a 21-6 lead late in the third. The Oregon defense let them down, and Auburn did it again to the Pac-12 on the opening weekend. I'll give it to Auburn any day of the week. They did what they said they had. They did what they had to do. They got the job done. The Justin Herbert, yes, he went 28 to 37 for 242 and a touchdown, but C.J. Verdell only carried the ball for 76 yards. They needed about 120 yards from him. That could have helped them too. So as far after I know it's the opening weekend, but if this is any indication, I'm going to vote the fact I'm going to vote this one down because Oregon, the defense looked horrible late in the fourth quarter, and that's where all the coaches earn their money. I mean, Oregon only went 4-14 on third down. That's the money down. The big money down is the fourth down, 1 for 2. I always say third and fourth down. That is where the defensive coaching staff earns their pay. So that's what I mean when it comes to the big money down. And I'll tell you right now, Oregon showed me they were great in the first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter they went. Whoosh, they thought they had the game won. Auburn came back and beat them. Okay, that is now our up and down segment. So now, it is now time, ladies and gentlemen, to hand out the game balls. And I got game balls galore I want to hand out. For the Cincinnati UCLA game, I got 2 game balls to hand out. Desmond Ryder, 16-26, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Michael Warren, 119 total yards, 26 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown. 3 catches, 27 yards, and a touchdown. Congratulations to you 2 gentlemen. You guys get the first 2 Scott Manning game balls of the 2019 college football season. For the Nevada Purdue contest, Carson Strong, 29-50, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns. Congratulations to you, sir. You get yourself a Scott Manning game ball. And this is where I hand out a little special something. Brandon Dalton, a 56-yard game winner at the end. He got the game ball from the Nevada football team, from the Nevada coach. He also got a scholarship to play at the University of Nevada. Well, congratulations to you, Brandon Dalton. You are the first recipient of the double Scott Manning game ball. That means a game ball times 2, just to let you know. So my congratulations to you. For the Iowa State Northern Iowa contest, Brock Purdy, 30-41, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Iowa State defense, 10 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. Congratulations to all of you gentlemen. All of you guys are going to be the recipients of a Scott Manning game ball. For the Auburn-Oregon contest, I got 2 game balls to hand out. Bo Nix, 13-31, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Travius Whitlow, 24 carries, 110 yards. Congratulations to you 2 gentlemen. You 2 gentlemen are also recipients of a Scott Manning game ball. Now, game of the weekend. So, there's a lot of nominees. I'm not even going to go through them. But we have 2 winners of that prestigious honor. And the winners are, drum roll, another drum roll. The winners are number 16 Auburn upsetting number 11 Oregon, and also to Nevada upsetting Purdue. Those 2 games are my game of the week winners, game of the weekend winners, and I'm going to tell you right now, congratulations to both games for getting this honor. Just to repeat, number 16 Auburn, number 11 Oregon, and Nevada and Purdue are my 2 games of the weekend. Congratulations to all 4 schools involved. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about a couple of other things before I get out of here. And I haven't forgotten about Ohio State. This past Saturday, Ohio State beat Florida Atlantic 45-21. A lot of Ohio State fans are crying, "Oh, we didn't get a good performance. The defense gave up 21 points." Wham! It's the first week of the season, people. So there's going to be some rough spots to work out. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's no rough spots from Justin Fields. 18-25, 234 yards, and 4 touchdowns. A QBR rating of 96.1. He also carried the ball 12 times for 61 yards and had a touchdown on the ground. Justin Fields really impressed me on the opening weekend. Head coach Ryan Day said he's going to have to really prove himself if he wants to keep the starter's job. Well, I'll tell you right now, Justin Fields really showed me a lot on the opening weekend. He can run. He can pass. Last year, Dwayne Haskins couldn't run the ball to save his life. he always threw it downfield. If Woody Hayes would have been at Ohio State and so he saw Haskins doing that, Woody Hayes would have kicked him off the team. But this time, Ohio State has a quarterback who can run, and we have a quarterback who can throw. Now there's some rough spots to work out from Ohio State's standpoint, I grant you. But let me tell you something. For those Ohio State whiners, for those Ohio State guys that are like, oh, we didn't like it, we should have beaten them by 80 points, should have beaten them 80-0. You're not going to get that from OSU, so suck it up and deal with it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't sound like that, but the bottom line is, I've had to listen to people whine all week, saying, I've had to listen to them whine for the last few days, saying, oh, we had a bad game. It's the first game of the season. You're not supposed to get carried away. You need to really save your stuff for when we get into Big Ten play and when we get into the meat of the schedule. And that's all there is to it. Justin Fields showed me a lot on the opening weekend. He showed me he can run and throw. And that's what Ohio State really needs. And the other thing I want to talk about. Remember Jalen Hurts, who was at Alabama? He's now the starter at Oklahoma. Oklahoma took care of Houston 49-31. Jalen Hurts, 20 of 33, 332 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also carried the ball 16 times for 176 yards and 3 touchdowns. So here's the question. Is Jalen Hurts the very, very, very early favorite for the Heisman Trophy? A lot of people say yes. I'm not willing to talk about the Heisman just yet. I want to hold off a few weeks until we know for sure on who gets the Heisman nod. The bottom line is we have a long way to go, but we don't have a short time to get there, which is a good thing. Let's hold off on the Heisman talk until about weeks 8 or 9. Let's get into the deep part of the schedule. Then we'll talk about the Heisman Trophy. But right now, a lot of people are saying Jalen Hurts is the heavy favorite, is the early odds-on favorite for the Heisman. I'm not willing to talk Heisman Trophy yet, for that simple reason. But it will be fair. Some people say there's a lot of things going on right now in college football. The first weekend of the season is over. We start a new season. We start another week of the season on Thursday night. Actually, I think on Saturday. We got a few big games. I will address those on Thursday night. I'll address those on Thursday before we go into the weekend. But the bottom line is this. The first weekend of the college football season is over. A lot of the top 25 went 24-1. We had some great non-ranked matchups that turned out to be big difference makers. There's a kid from Nevada, Brandon Talton, who kicked a 56-yard game winner and got himself a scholarship. That is a heartwarming moment. And that was the best, in my opinion, that, my friends, was the best moment of the weekend. My congratulations to him for getting the scholarship to play football at Nevada, and I wish him all the best. And on Thursday, now before I go, Thursday, I will get you ready for the weekend. It's going to be a great weekend coming up. And that's all I'm going to say today. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here on this day. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Scott Manning. All you have to do is type my name, scroll down, look for this pretty face, and you'll see some of the videos that I'm going to be doing and some of the videos I have done so far. You guys, thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and have a great rest of your day, and God bless. Goodbye, everybody, and thank you.